Last one!
Since its inception in 1882, judo has been steadily evolving. Over the last 10 years, there has been an explosion of new techniques and innovations. This video will show some of the more dynamic and exciting advances in this ever-changing sport.
I'm Steve Bell, and you're watching Xtreme Judo!
One of the most successful techniques in modern judo has been kataguruma, or the fireman's carry. Tori takes a powerful grip behind the shoulder, circling off to the side, forcing uki to step forward. Drop down onto one knee, placing your right hand through and high on the thigh. Take the throw around and over by moving the right leg through. Make sure as you step to the side that you pull strongly with the left hand. This will make uki's front foot move forward and into the throw. This version of kataguruma differs slightly from the previous one, as Tori attacks from the outside of the arm, dropping under and inside. This enables Tori to stop any counter to the throw and makes it more difficult to avoid. Taking a right arm cross grip, stepping through, rotating behind the shoulders, using the left arm to swing uki's legs over the back. Make sure the grip is deep underneath the arm, and your head and shoulders are right up against his belt. One of the modern masters of kataguruma is Jonathan Latz of Belgium. Here is his own unique version. With both hands gripping the same side, move off to your right as uki steps. Slide through, trapping the legs. Place your head underneath the arm and rotate the shoulders. Make sure you pull down hard, not allowing a gap between your shoulders and your opponent's underarm. On this angle, you can see the grip on the same side. Remember, this grip can only be used in the act of throwing, because failure to throw immediately will result in a gripping penalty. In this version, we see a one-handed grip on the lapel. In many of the versions we've seen so far, we take both grips and take time wrapping the arm. This is an extremely fast example of kataguruma, attacking off the grip and utilizing the speed of the drop and pull. Taking a high lapel grip, pull sharply forward. Drop down and use the left arm to lift the legs. Uki will probably go into a handstand at this point to avoid the throw. Continue over the top, controlling the body, pushing over while pulling on the grip on the lapel to remove the hands from the floor. As you can see at the end of this technique, you can continue into niwaza. The examples of kataguruma seen so far rely on uki standing still or moving to his left or right. When he is moving backwards and away from the throw, it becomes difficult to do drop knee techniques. Taking the underarm grip, as in one of the first examples we did, drop down onto one knee. As your opponent starts to move backwards, rotate the shoulders and twist sharply. The twisting motion will make it difficult to avoid the throw. It is important to completely wrap the arm and twist upwards as quickly as possible, thereby taking advantage of your partner's defensive moves. In today's judo, it's unusual to see standing katagurumas, as you need a lot of leg power to lift your partner straight off the floor. In this version, we use the bouncing off the knee to lift and generate enough force to bring both legs up and underneath our partner. Taking an underarm grip, step down and between your partner's legs. As the one knee hits the mat, the other leg comes underneath his body to support the weight, generating power from the legs. Lift, rotate the shoulders, completing the throw. Skuronagi has become a more popular throw in recent times. This version is performed by pulling the opponent's left arm across your body and sliding your left hand through the armpit to grab the pant leg. This allows you to step behind and sweep the legs without fear of getting reversed or your partner stepping off the throw. It is important that you have a strong forward pull at the beginning. This will help with the change of direction that is needed. Taking a right-handed cross grip deep underneath the arm, left hand over the back grabbing the belt. The left foot goes between the legs onto the inner thigh. Hop down into a sacrifice throw, flicking the partner over the top. Your left leg then goes over the top of the stomach and is used for the arm lock as soon as you hit the floor. This tomonagi is for those of you with strong back muscles. Take a double sleeve grip underneath the arms. Jump up with both feet onto your partner's hips, landing deep between your partner's legs. Push up with your legs while continuing to roll over into the pin. When done correctly, this Yoko Sutemi waza is an excellent competition technique. Take a grip over the arm and under the armpit. Grab the opponent's pant leg, jump forward with your left foot to block the opponent's right foot while taking him down over the side. Be sure as soon as you grab the pant leg to begin the technique so as to avoid a gripping penalty on the pant leg. This is a fairly standard Yoko tomonagi, the difference being the movement of tori off to the side. The foot and leg stay straight at all times using a pendulum motion to throw uki. Here seen from a different angle, grip over the top behind the arm, pulling the opponent's shoulders down. Step to the side with the right leg, circling around, left foot goes high on the thigh, blocking the leg, staying straight in the pendulum fashion, and following the opponent over. Again, continue into mat work. This one-sided tomonagi is a little different, but has been used successfully in top-level competition, notably by Densain White of Great Britain. By holding on the same side of the jacket and keeping the opponent's head down, put your left foot into the belt, rolling the opponent sideways and onto his back. Pull strongly to one side when his balance has been broken. Sacrifice throws are an essential tool for any top competitor. Here are the reasons why. This particular version of Sode is a favorite of Sensei Bell. This technique could be classed as Sode Tsuri Komigoshi, or reverse Ippon Seiyonagi. When rotating under the arm, the grip must be switched halfway through the technique so the other arm can go behind your back, flipping the legs over the top. Note, you must bend at the waist so you can tip your partner over the top of your head as quickly as possible so as not to carry the weight for long. Seen here from another angle, right hand cross grip high underneath the arm, pulling the elbow up to make room for the turn, rotating underneath the arm and switching to a left-handed grip. The right arm then flicks the legs over the top while bending at the waist, thereby quickly dumping your opponent. This version of Sode is another one of Sensei Bell's favorites. By taking two sleeves, stepping across to the outside of the opponent's opposite leg, and dropping to one knee, it enables the attacker to complete the technique while on the move and not to be concerned with a counter. In this angle, we can clearly see the double sleeve grip as the attacker drops to one knee, completing the throw. This is a one-handed example of Sode Tsuri Komigoshi. The left hand takes a grip on the bottom of the sleeve, the left foot steps and turns deep between the legs of your opponent. It is important to keep your opponent's arms straight and continue to pull throughout the throw. When uke is off balance and fully loaded on your back, the support leg steps back while bending at the waist, dumping him over as quickly as possible. This throw was used most successfully by the great Koga of Japan and is now practiced by many other top players. Always a crowd pleaser, Sode is truly extreme judo. Over the years, Seiyonagi has become one of the most successful competition throws. This version deals with Seiyonagi coming from the outside to the inside, instead of standing directly in front of your opponent. By taking a same-sided grip and turning under and into both knees, two things are accomplished. One is to stay away from your opponent's grip, and two is to have a devastatingly fast throw. Taking a top grip on the end of the sleeve, the right hand is high and deep on the lapel. Turn and drop to both knees, pushing the head through and under the arm. Complete the throw by pulling strongly on the lapel grip while rolling the sleeve grip across your body. This example is particularly good because once again the grip is taken on one side, locking under the arm. The hardest part is getting the inside lapel grip. By dropping the opponent's head at the beginning of the technique, the jacket should open up enough to enable you to get your hand in. When throwing with standing upon seoinage, the driving lead leg must go deep between your opponent's feet. Once the weight has been taken off, the back leg can come up, dropping the head and pushing through the throw. This is a technique used by many top competitors. Here seen from a different angle, the lead leg goes deep, lining up on the far leg. The back leg will come through, dropping to the waist as quickly as possible to achieve continuous momentum over the top. O-Uchigari has always been a great competition throw, but its biggest drawback is its high probability of being countered when Uki's balance is not broken. 1999 world champion Jimmy Pedro used this version as a quick attack off the grip, thereby cutting down the chances of being countered. Taking a cross grip at the end of the sleeve, pull sharply across your body. As your partner steps forward, reap the lead leg, using your free hand to hold it in position, trapping the leg, going down onto one knee, keeping your head over the leg you are attacking. As we see Pedro in action, notice the pull and commitment he gives to the technique. Against a strong top grip, use the left hand with a grip underneath the arm to push away and maintain distance between Tori and Uki. By lifting and rotating the left elbow, then releasing the arm will rotate over the top of Uki's elbow and down towards the floor, breaking down the grip. As Tori releases the arm, lock the top of the grip onto the shoulder, controlling the head with your arm. Continue into Kosotogaki, driving your opponent down to the ground and into Niwaza. Another useful defense against a strong top grip would be to take a grip around the back, going low and inside for Kouchigaki. Take a grip around the back. Slide down between the far leg and grab the back of the same leg, thus making sure Uki doesn't step away. Keep your head on the same side you are attacking so as not to get counted. The best time to attack is when your opponent doesn't have a grip. In this version of Kouchigaki, both hands grab the same leg and slide down into Kouchigaki before the opponent can get a grip. In recent years, leg picks have become increasingly popular for use in competition. This is a unique and dynamic contest version. By taking a cross grip and pulling the opponent's elbow across the body makes an angle to attack. Grab the inside of the opposite leg, running the opponent across the mat. Make sure your opponent's legs clear out to the side to prevent an Uchimata counter. Taking a low sleeve grip, push the arm down and across to Uki's opposite foot. Trap the ankle with your lead foot and force the weight down over the same foot. Because all of the weight is on the ankle, he cannot lift the foot and step off the throw. This will allow time to pick the ankle and complete the technique. The concept of this technique is the same as the previous one, except we use kosotogaki on the outside. By pushing the hand down and between the legs in a straight line to the floor, we put pressure and weight onto the supporting ankle, thereby trapping it as Tori reaps and picks the ankle. Because your partner's weight is pushed down onto the foot, he is unable to move in time to avoid the pick. We see now how devastating and exciting leg picks can be. In this first turnover, when your opponent is on all fours, intertwine your left leg inside and around their leg, locking it down into place. This allows you to move safely around the far side with your left hand under the arm. Kick the leg up and roll over your own shoulder, using your leg to bring your partner down onto the floor by your side. By throwing your left leg over the opponent's stomach, the arm lock can be completed. This is an excellent technique for junior players, as their legs are grabbed quite often to defend against turnovers. As soon as your leg is grabbed, rotate over their shoulders onto your left shoulder, taking the opponent with you. By holding onto the arm underneath the opposite side, it brings the opponent down into a pin. Sankaku, or figure 4 turnover, is widely used and has a very high success rate. The biggest problem is when your opponent's arm is pushed back between his or her legs to stop you from getting your foot behind the arm. So instead, position your foot behind the knee and continue into Sankaku turnover as normal. This turnover is a very useful technique when your partner is between your legs. Move backwards to create some space and place your foot in the armpit. Push up on the right leg as you sweep with the left one. Then by quickly swinging the sweeping leg across the head and into Juji-Gatami arm lock to finish the technique. Again, fighting out of the guard, when your opponent reaches forward, take a cross grip on the lapel. From here a choke may be taken, or place your hand on the side of the neck, pushing the head over and sweeping the leg into the pin. At this point you can apply a Wakigatami arm lock. This is the same as the previous technique, only this time the choke will be utilized. As before, cross grip, go into shimiwaza, sweep the leg, turn over and continue with the choke. One way to turn your opponent while in the guard is to reach over the top grabbing the belt. Bring your hips up into a bridge, wrap the legs, twist and turn, taking him over and into the pin. First used by Trautmann of Germany, this next technique is a little different but useful in the right situation. When trying to break down your opponent's defense, he grabs one of your legs. Quickly capture his arm by sitting your weight down on it. Then turn to face the same direction as your partner. Reaching back under his body, grab the pant leg closest to you. Roll over your shoulder, forcing him onto his back. As you can see at this point, you can apply either the arm lock or the pin. As seen from a different angle, make sure the captured arm is held tight throughout the roll. After an unsuccessful attack by your opponent, many times your right hand is in good position on his collar and under his chin. By passing your left arm over his body and taking a grip on the inside leg, we can turn him over. After taking the grip, immediately dive over his back with your head turned forwards. Roll up into the pin and control him with the choke. First used by British female players, notably Rowena Sweetman, this is a turnover into a choke and pin. Crossing your hands under and over the neck, pull backwards and over while blocking the leg. Taking your right leg behind the neck and applying the choke. If the choke is not strong enough, stay in position for the osikomi. This is a simple but extremely useful choke. As the opponent attempts to do drop knee seoinage, keep a grip high on the lapel. Step around the throw, placing your right leg over the shoulder. Grab the belt with your left hand and pull sharply on the lapel. The choke comes on very quickly before he has a chance to defend. This choke is a little risky, and done incorrectly will place you in a pin. The upside, though, is that it is unexpected, as your opponent thinks he has successfully passed your guard. Take a two-handed grip around the neck. One hand has the fingers inside the collar and the thumb outside. The other hand is thumb in and fingers out. Push your opponent to make him attempt to pass the guard by dropping your leg. As he passes over the leg, spin under him. Be sure to continue the spin all the way through, so as to avoid being pinned. This technique has been used successfully many times in world-class competition. Take a grip under the neck with your right hand and pass the left hand over his back, taking a grip on the outside leg. Using your left elbow to pin his hip in position, sit through by switching your legs over. Apply the choke, keeping your weight on the neck throughout the technique. From the guard, Uki attempts to lift Tori's leg. Quickly switch to a one-sided grip, and using the leg that is being lifted, wrap his leg. Then push your leg out straight while holding his wrist, thereby applying ude garame. While fighting out of the guard, Uki is attempting to start a choke. By using your legs to create space between yourself and your attacker, throw both your legs around his neck, clamp his arms to your chest, crossing your feet behind the head. Lift the hips to apply the double arm lock. Although this technique has been around for quite some time, it is still widely used. Using your lead leg to dig out the arm, push your weight down onto his back, taking your arm over the top and hooking under your opponent's other arm. Lift up your leg while moving his arm away from his body. This will also help to stop any escape attempt. Sometimes when grabbing your leg, Uki will wrap it backwards in an attempt to pull your leg in and roll you backwards. By turning outwards while holding onto his wrist, a reverse udigarame is applied. Again, from the same situation, except Uki grabs the leg with his arm facing forward. Quickly lock his arm in place by sitting down on it, then rotate your leg outwards, applying pressure to his elbow. The last few techniques are very opportunistic and must be applied quickly when the situation presents itself. Standing kensetsu waza, or arm locks, are rarely seen anymore in top-level judo. But in this demonstration, as Tori goes over the top to apply standing kensetsu waza, Uki defends and Tori switches to ko-uchigaki. It is of course illegal to throw while applying an arm lock, and this would result in a disqualification. However, the arm lock can be applied to see if the opponent submits. If not, release the arm and allow it to bend around the waist and continue on into ko-uchigaki. This is quite a unique version of Uchimata. Taking a top grip, step between the legs and grab the inside of the closest leg, rolling forwards while holding onto the leg throughout the technique. Be careful not to roll over the neck or do a version of kanibasami, otherwise known as the flying leg scissors. Although advertised as Uchimata, this technique is not really. Basically, the setup for Uchimata is used as a feint, as the legs stay on the floor throughout the technique until the ankle is grabbed by the other arm. Then the leg is used to help control the forward roll. Against an extreme opposite grip, it can be difficult to get past your opponent's arms. First drive the lead leg through, thereby splitting his stance. Then by punching your leg down and using a popping motion, Uki's balance will be broken. When his leg begins to lift, step all the way across and into regular taiyatoshi. This technique relies on the misdirection of your opponent. While feinting with a forward technique, suddenly reverse direction and attack with tani otoshi. As we see next, the switch is very effective when used at the right time. As we saw earlier, Obitori Gaish is an excellent throw. By first attacking with a low version of Uchimata, we cause our opponent to defend against the wrong technique, thus allowing a sudden switch to the main throw. Make sure you do not complete the Uchimata with this grip, as it will result in throwing in an arm lock.